what is OS command injection vulnerability. Firstly, we will know its basics. Then we will be understanding this about this vulnerability, like what all are its types. Then we shall be discussing the source code, where we will be analyzing like whether it's vulnerable or not. Then I will introduce you with one of the tool, that is SciHunt. SciHunt is a tool with the help of which you can do source code analysis. So even whenever we are doing source code analysis, we are having two ways. One is the manual way, second is the automated way. So you need to know the manual method also, that how by seeing the source code you can understand whether it's vulnerable or not. And second is with the help of these automated tools as well, you should know like how you can identify whether the code is having any weakness or not. Okay, then we will be learning about, see, now the source code which we will be creating, we will be exploiting it. Okay, and how we will exploit it, we will be directly taking the reverse shell, and then we will be hacking the entire machine which we will be creating. So this is the objective for the day, right? Okay, so now firstly let us see like what is operating system command injection. Can anybody explain me like what do you know about OS command injection? All right, okay. So uh, is somebody raising hands? Okay, all right. Now see, now what is the meaning of OS command injection? Now this OS command injection is basically a security vulnerability where attacker is able to execute a lot of OS related commands on the server which is running the application. Okay, now this vulnerability is occurring whenever any application is improperly handling the input and is directly passing that input inside the shell commands. Now with the help of it, attackers they can get the unauthorized access. Now let's say we are having a URL, we are having an application. Let us say this application is, for example, vegetables.com. Now let's say it's a grocery store, vegetables.com. Now, for example, we have vegetable. Let's say we have ID, let's say ID equal to. Now we are having one. So by this, let's say we are able to see that particular image of the fruit or vegetable which is having ID 1. Okay. Now, now let's say, now if in place of this one, so earlier when we discussed path traversal vulnerability, in the path traversal vulnerability, we were actually searching for the parameters and then we were giving the paths. So we even tried giving a relative path or we even gave the absolute path. And in LFI, what was happening in local file inclusion, we were able to access those files as well, which did not belong to the intended directory. Okay, but in OS command injection, what's happening here, we will be able to execute a lot of operating system related commands. For example, if I'll tell you ls, with the help of ls we are able to see all the files and folders in the current directory, right? If I will be writing who am I, with the help of who am I command, we are able to know the name of user, right? Whether it's Kali or any other guest username. If I will just talk about mkdir and folder name, then we can create a folder, right? So all the OS related commands we can execute if the application is vulnerable to OS command injection. Okay. Now see, there are a lot of web applications which are interacting with the operating system directly to execute the system commands. Okay. If any application is taking the user input and if this user input is not properly validated, neither at client's end nor at server's end, then then a lot of OS commands can be executed onto the server and a hacker can see a lot of information about the system. Okay, now this OS command injection vulnerability is having its very huge impact onto confidentiality, integrity and availability. If I talk about confidentiality, integrity and availability, These are the three fundamental pillars of cybersecurity. Now, this OS command injection can be used to view sensitive information of the system and server. With the help of command injection vulnerability, a hacker can alter the content inside the application if it's impacting availability. Now, a hacker can even try to delete the content on the application. This is how it is affecting confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay. So, okay. Now I am sharing my Kali, and we will be firstly we will be creating a vulnerable code, and then we shall be doing the exploitation. Okay, and then you yourself can understand that this much small mistake can lead to a big disaster. Means if any application is vulnerable to OS command injection, then it's very easier for hackers to take the reverse shell. Okay, now we will be seeing how hackers can do that. And meanwhile, it is getting open. I want to introduce you with one of the tool. It is one of my favorite tool as well. It is SciHunt. You all can install this tool in your laptop, SciHunt. It is also available in two forms, SciHunt free community version and SciHunt professional. With the help of SciHunt, you can do scanning also. You can even understand the code. Okay. Generally, generally I am using it to scan the source code. If you have any code, you have to do just new scan, and then you have to pick any file from here which you want to scan. So whether it's an APK file or any other file, you can just pick it, and you can start the scanning, and this will be telling you whether it's having any weakness or not. This will also be telling you like if there is any vulnerability. Now whether the vulnerability is having high impact, medium impact, low impact, or it's an informational issue. This will be telling you that. Okay, so it is a very good tool which will be very very helpful for you all if you will be doing the source code analysis. Manual, like seeing it manual, like that thing you should know, but this will give you the basic idea whether it is having any problem or not. Got it? Now see, you all can install Cyan by going to its website. That's better. So let me log into Kali. Now I am opening the terminal. All right. Now, firstly, see, now this is also a PHP based application which I have created. Now, with the help of this, I will be showing you about the OS command related flaws. So, firstly, I am just going to cd var www.html. So, here inside this folder, I have my file. Now, can you see this file osinjection.php? Let me open this file. Okay, so now this is the source code. I guess it's very small for you all to see. So I am pasting it here. Okay. I hope this source code is visible, right? Because of the way the code is written, as there is no input sanitization, neither before asking the input or before executing the input. That's why it is vulnerable to OS command injection. Now, firstly, now this is the source code. I will go to SciHunt. Okay. Now in this SciHunt tool, I have to go to launcher. Then you go to new scan. Now here I am choosing the file. So this is my OS. Let me go to home. I'm scrolling down. Now this is the code. Okay. Now I am doing start scan. Now can you see? Just by entering this code, it is telling me that found undisclosed vulnerability. Since it's a free edition, it is not telling like which type of vulnerability is here, but it's telling that it is having some flaw. It is having one of the vulnerability, right? Now, see, now on the other hand, if I will take any secure code, let's say I'm going to launcher, then new scan. Now I am going to this source. Coming down, I am taking secure code which is not vulnerable to OS injection. This I will explain you. Firstly, I am doing start scan. Can you see? It is secure, right? So whenever you are whenever you are giving any malicious code inside this Sci-Hunt tool, like it is helpful in automatically checking whether the source code is having any weakness or not. But here also like manual testing is required. Like you can't blindly trust anything, but this will give you an idea from the outside that this is having some flaw. You just check it. Got it? Since here this code is a small code, we can understand that it's having flaw. Now let's say if this would be a very big, like it's a very big code, then manually checking will take a time. So with help of these tools, you can just check whether it's having any flaw or not. And if it's having no flaw, then it's okay. If it's telling that there is some problem, you have to check it line by line and see where is the problem. Okay. Now, see. So whatever I'm telling, you all are understanding, right? Okay. All right. That's great. Fine. Now, see, now it's a very simple and small script, and you all have understood, right? Now, what I am doing, firstly, I will be starting my Apache server. Okay. So, it's sudo systemctl and start Apache 2. Give the password Kali. Now, this Apache server is enabled. Now, I'm just going to my browser and here I am just giving the file name. Firstly, we have to give localhost and then we have to give this OS injection and then the CMD. Okay. So this is a file. Okay. Now how to execute it? Here we have taken the CMD as a parameter, right? So the source code which I have showed you, we have taken CMD as the parameter. Can you see? URL parameter CMD. Now let's come here. Now I'm going to browser. Yeah. So CMD equal to, now let's see CMD equal to nothing. So nothing is coming, right? Now you all just, now let's say we are giving ls. Ls is for listing. Now this is listing all the files which are present inside the folder where we are having this application. So we have this os injection.php application inside this folder, which is HTML folder. Once I'm doing ls, can you see basic HTML, JWT vulnerable app, sec code 2, vuln code 2. Here we are able to see the OS commands, right? Like all these means all these files which we can see in the OS, we can see here. Now if I'm just typing -a, can you see we are even seeing the hidden directories. Now for example, who am I? Now it's telling I am www data. So by running this OS related commands, we can understand that this particular application is vulnerable to OS command injection, right? We can even check a lot of other commands as well. Now, for example, now let's say we have a command which is only printing directories, which is ls minus, let's say I, so this I will be printing the inode values and we have d. Okay, so this is printing id. Now we are printing long listing. Can you see all the like permissions, root, basic HTML, we are able to see, correct? Now if I'll just type, let's say ls and it's basic HTML. Now, for example, here I am running cat basic HTML dot HTML. Can you see? We are seeing this code, right? So are you able to understand that like why it's vulnerable to OS command injection? Because whatever commands like whatsoever information I have in my operating system, I have in my like the system, I am able to see all that information just by changing the value of the parameter. Because the code is vulnerable, it is not sanitizing the input. It is directly parsing the values, and it's directly showing it the results, because neither input validation is happening at the client send or at server send. Whatsoever data we are giving, it is showing us that result. Now, for example, now this is the task for all of you. So you all just tell me, we have this website, right? We have this application. You all just tell me how we can take the reverse shell. Now, for example, this reverse shell I want to take, how can I? We can directly do RCE, remote code execution, from OS injection. So here, if I'll just give you an example, now, see here I have a lot of extensions installed, right? We have one of the extension as hack tools. Okay. So here we are having a lot of reverse shells, right? Now, if I will just copy any reverse shell, let us say this is a reverse shell I am taking, this reverse shell. Now, before this, I will be changing the IP address. So firstly, I need to check my Kali's IP. So my IP is, let me scroll. It's 192.168.239.161. Now let's come here, go to this hack tools, and here let me paste it. Now I have just copied it. Now I am coming here. Okay. Now here I am giving the reverse shell. This I'll close, that's better. Yeah. Here I am giving the reverse shell. I guess I should take NC reverse shell. Just a second. Yeah, this is fine. So because here like we will be starting the netcat server here. Now I have pasted the reverse shell. Okay. So it is minus E. This is having some issue, I guess. So I will type here manually. Okay. Minus E. Now I'm doing bin sh. See, you all can just use any reverse shell of your choice. You just go to reverse shell generator or use hack tools to copy any reverse shell payload. Then you have to copy the IP address, and here I am pasting the IP. Okay, and now I am giving, let's say, port number 4444, and before running this, I will be starting my netcat minus LVNP 4444. I guess there is no issue in this because we have already discussed about netcat earlier when we solved the machine GCTF. Now I am pressing enter. Now can you see it's loading? So, and here can you see we have connected. Now if I type ls, can you see we are able to see all the files which were hosted in this application, right? Now here if I am just, so now can you see we are unable to, we have not got the shell till now. So here I will go to hack tools, then I am just going to php, yeah, then I'm just going to tty spawn shell. I have copied it. Now I am pasting it here. Can you see we have got the shell? If I will ask who am I am www data. Now, ls, we are able to see this. Now, if I will ask who am I am this. Now, let me try to go here. ls, can you see? We are able to see bin, home, library 32, library 64, and all these folders. Now, if we are trying to go inside root, for now we can't go inside because we don't have root permissions, but we have got access of the entire system.